Hello, class. Today I'll be interviewing my older brother, Muiz, on a conflict that he had, resolved or unresolved. And yeah, basically he's going to talk about how he felt during the conflict, how he went about it, and how he felt like he's grown from it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about whatever conflict you feel like you want to talk about.
So, as a computer scientist, there's always issues with how people share and work with code that they've created with other people. And during one of the many projects we did at my school, we had one of my friends was in a group with two other people where they created a program to navigate mazes that does the job particularly well. So, of course, there's always somebody in the group that wants to make as much money as he can off of whatever work he's done so he can live a comfortable life, whereas the other people in the group, well, two others felt it was best to, try to make it open source and make it free to the public. And one member of the group wasn't really too strong about going either way, but supported the open source person because it seemed like the morally right thing to do. But because they felt like, well, they're college students, they should try to secure their life in whatever way they can before they get out into the world. They were having trouble deciding or creating a true consensus either way about whether or not they wanted to.
So just to paraphrase you so far, basically what you're saying is that there was time you were in a group with some other students that you had to complete a computer science project with,
Yes.
and one of them felt that he should capitalize the most off of it,
Yes.
while the other felt that they should make it free to the public, and the third person was indifferent.
Yes.
Okay, you can continue.
So, they called me in to just bounce off issues because I was friends with them all peripherally. And the issue was how valuable was the code and how much work would they have to do to actually sell it versus how much they'd make off of it if they'd released it to the public and used that as something of a resume point so that they could use it to help them get better positions rather than selling a small piece that doesn't really do very much on its own. So we talked about all the benefits, sure, you can make X amount of money off of this algorithm and sell it to this many people, but you'd have to share it between the three of you anyway because it's all three of your names are on it, and it's the schools and the professors know that you did it together.
Yeah.
So the profits, so it became a question of profitability versus how much they could gain from being known for having made something like this in a more professional
Did you
world.
think that were you able to find a way to bring them to a common ground, or somewhat of a common ground?
Well, the solution we found was to create videos using their code and using that in job applications and things like that to see whether that would be interesting, and then using that same video as a potential marketing tool for the code in other places. So the solution that we found was just to try a bit of both options, since it was too hard to go either way and they didn't have to make a choice at that moment.
So do you think that when trying both options, it sort of gave chance for both parties to feel like their voice was being heard and without one to feel neglected? Do you think that was better off?
Oh yeah, because even the one that wanted to sell really bad didn't. He knew that it was sort of the short-sighted thing to do, but he also had personal reasons for needing the money. So this way he was able to see, well, how much could he get from this, or how much would he gain from not selling it. It became a question of how much he'd gain either way, and in the end it turned out that getting the job with what he'd done in school ended up profiting them the most.
Profiting them the most, okay. So, once again, to paraphrase, after what you said, after getting involved in their conflict, not too involved, but involved in the sense that you were able to bring out what were the needs from each party, and one was that he wanted to profit off of it, like we said before, and the other wanted to make it free to the public. So you sort of broke it down and make it a middleman so that both parties could be somewhat happy and content with the outcome. And as you said, in the long run, it actually turned out to be mostly profitable.
Yeah.
So would you say that this form of, I could say, restorative justice was a success?
Yeah. They're both very happy. All three of them are very happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like that's the process. At the end of the day, there was a disagreement, and with a third party in there to restore justice and allow both sides to speak their part, it later turned out to be a peaceful situation.
Yeah.
You would agree?
Yeah, making sure that everybody feels like what they'd wanted and what they'd sought was understood by the others.